While dating a wealthy older woman, I accidentally caught the attention of the poor but beautiful school belle. Little did I know, the school belle turned out to be the wealthy woman's niece. Later, the wealthy woman was passionately making love with her lover in the bedroom. Meanwhile, I hid in the closet, too afraid to make a sound. It's not because I'm chicken, it's because the school beauty is also in the closet. Day 13 of the Cold War with Olivia. Against all expectations, she texted me, saying she's going to the airport to pick up her cousin returning from abroad, and asked me not to bother her during this time. She'd never reached out to me first during our Cold Wars before. This subtle change made me mistakenly think she was giving me an out. So, I went to the airport early with flowers and gifts, wanting to surprise her. But the surprise turned into a shock. Olivia was wearing black stockings and a body-hugging skirt, topped with a white coat as thin as a cicada's wing. She kissed that so-called cousin passionately, oblivious to the onlookers, then took off her coat and draped it over the man's arm. Her curvaceous figure, with its pronounced curves, drew frequent glances from passers-by. Arm in arm with the man, she smiled coquettishly, like a girl deeply in love. The kicker? That supposed cousin looked way too much like me. Aren't you afraid your partner of 1 year will get jealous when you pick me up at the airport? What are you talking about? That was just a toy keeping me company in your place. Now that you're back in the country, what use do I have for keeping a dog around? Olivia often dated different men, hugged them, kissed them, but she told me, Felix, I never take things to the final step with them. This is my way of respecting you. I change quickly, but never keep more than one at a time. I was the only man she officially called her boyfriend. I was also the only one she brought home to meet her parents, just to deal with their pressure for marriage. I used to think that despite her wild ways, she had some genuine feelings for me. 1:30 a.m., I tossed and turned, unable to sleep because of Olivia. Class President Leo posted a video on his moments. He's a mutual friend of both me and Olivia. The video thumbnail was blurry, faintly showing two figures leaning against each other. I felt a vague unease, but still clicked on the video. A group of men and women, fueled by alcohol, were playing a game and acting rowdy. Olivia and her cousin lost the game, and the cousin had to do 30 push-ups on top of her. In the video, the cousin would collapse onto her every 5 push-ups, taking the opportunity to enjoy her lips. The sound of saliva was clearly audible, mingled with Olivia's soft moans. Disgusting. Someone tagged me in the class group chat. Felix, isn't it your girlfriend in the video the class rep posted? I thought you'd hit the jackpot, but turns out she was just playing with you. Having fun watching the video? You cuckold fetishist. Many people are jealous that my girlfriend is Olivia, and they're all kicking me while I'm down. Leo even went out of his way to remind me. Idiot. Take a look at your profile picture. Doesn't it look just like that guy's? My heart skipped a beat. Olivia had chosen my profile picture, a silhouette of a man in a trench coat. She said it was a matching couple's avatar. Now that I look closely, it's unmistakably the back view of her so-called cousin. What kind of mentality makes someone use their first love's photo as their current partner's profile picture? She never treated me like a human being. I replied to the first person who tagged me in the class group chat. You must be mistaken. How could this slut possibly be my girlfriend? 03. Olivia's call came through almost immediately. Felix, what the hell is wrong with you? I was just playing a game with friends. Why are you freaking out and cursing at me? Don't forget, I give you $30,000 every month. Don't be ungrateful, or I might stop paying you in the future. She lashed out at me, her voice tinged with a barely detectable hint of grievance. This isn't madness. Olivia, let's break up. I thought she would agree without hesitation. After all, her white moonlight had returned to the country, and she was even drinking to celebrate that night. I never expected the other end of the line to fall silent for a long while. Olivia grew even more emotional. Felix, do you really think threatening me like this will make me bow my head and coax you? What makes you think you're worthy of breaking up with me? If you didn't bear some resemblance to Benjamin, I wouldn't even let you lick my feet. I'd find your mouth too filthy. Since that's the case, let's break up now. I said indifferently. Olivia didn't speak again. The response I got was the beeping tone of a hung-up call. I shrugged. Breaking up isn't the same as getting divorced. One party's unilateral proposal is sufficient. 04. Upon learning about my breakup with Olivia, all 3 of my roommates expressed deep regret. That was a beautiful, wealthy woman giving you $30,000 a month. How could you be so foolish? Even if money isn't an issue for you, that was Olivia we're talking about. The dorm leader patted me on the shoulder. Bro, I get you. It's precisely because you genuinely care that you need to cut your losses now. Don't worry. The campus mixer is the day after tomorrow. You'll definitely find someone better. I wasn't holding out much hope. Olivia had left me disillusioned with love. On the day of the social evening, all 3 of my roommates went out to have fun, so I wandered boredly to the lakeside on campus. In the middle of the lake was a patch of lotus flowers, just in full bloom. There was a stone path from a lakeside to the center of the lotus pond. It looked like you could step on the stones to pick lotus seed pods, but in reality, the stones were unstable and every year students would fall in. And sure enough, here comes another unlucky soul. She was still a pure and pretty junior student, with an oval face, sparkling eyes, and wearing a lake blue strapless dress. Graceful and elegant, yet with a hint of a mature woman's charm. She stood unsteadily on the rock, her silver bell-like laughter ringing out. But soon, her laughter faded. Ah, with a splash, the azure figure tumbled into the lake. Without hesitation, I jumped in after her. The water wasn't deep, standing straight. It reached about waist height. Yet the girl flailed wildly, so I wrapped my arms around her waist and carried her out step by step. She clung tightly to my neck, tilting her little face up with a grateful smile. Water droplets trickled down her disheveled hair. Like a lotus rising from water, she said her name was Angela and asked for my contact information. She promised to treat me to dinner another day. 05. Drawing from my experience with Olivia, I was especially careful in my interactions with Angela. I took her out for meals, movies, and bowling, even helping her poke the straw into her milk tea. Angela held her milk tea, smiling warmly at me. Senior, you're so kind, so considerate. She wore a beige knit sweater that revealed delicate collarbones and alluring curves, paired with denim shorts that accentuated her long, straight legs. She liked tilting her head and smiling at me. Though it wasn't hot, I felt my face burning. It's fine. I used to do these little things for Olivia, but she never appreciated them. Like a feather lightly brushing against my heart. Angela and I met too late in life. During the movie, I merely shifted my neck slightly, yet she thought I was tired and offered her shoulder for me to lean on. I leaned against her, breathing in her faint body scent, feeling a wave of warmth in my heart. Angela was so clever. She scored 99 points in her first game of bowling. Every time she got a strike, she stuck out her tongue and said with a smile, "Just got lucky, that's all." She was so beautiful and smart, yet still gentle and humble. It turns out that meeting someone exceptionally wonderful can truly make one feel inadequate. So when Angela proposed that we start dating, I instinctively stepped back. You say you like me, but what exactly do you like about me? You've never even been in a relationship before. You must be mistaking mere fondness for love, I said bluntly. Angela's willow leaf brows furrowed slightly, her eyes showing a hint of hurt as she lowered her gaze and murmured unhappily. I admit, at first it was because of how good you were to me. When I'm with you, I don't even have to poke the straw into my milk tea myself. Well, I said putting on makeup made eating chicken wings inconvenient. You pick the meat off and feed me. Sure enough, she only developed feelings for me because of these little details. I felt a pang in my chest. But senior, Angela suddenly looked up, her large eyes glistening with determination. I know very well that it's you I like. You're humorous and articulate, with your own perspective on everything, and you're gentle and chivalrous toward me. My heart raced the first moment I saw you. Truthfully, I usually feel quite awkward around boys, but with you, I feel completely at ease. I know very clearly that if I let you slip away, who knows how long it would be before someone else makes my heart flutter like this. So Felix, would you go out with me? 06. Angela and I started dating. Back in the dorm, I hooped with joy for ages, making my roommates green with envy, while the dorm leader patted my shoulder approvingly. I told you you'd meet someone better. After dating Angela for over half a month, when I kissed her for the first time, my mind went completely blank like an inexperienced teenager. Her lips were soft and cool, still carrying the fresh sweetness of watermelon and cantaloupe from the fruit she'd just eaten. I only meant to take a small taste, but she was simply too sweet. If you pay attention, you can even detect a hint of strawberry flavor. Upon learning that Angela's family wasn't well off, I anonymously provided her with 5,000 yuan monthly for living expenses, so she could focus on her studies and live without worries. Being with Angela fills me with immense fulfillment and joy. If Olivia hadn't suddenly reached out, I might have nearly forgotten about her. That day, while I was on a video call with Angela, Olivia kept calling repeatedly. I didn't answer a single one and simply blocked her number. Not long after, class representative Leo sent a message. Felix, are you even human? Olivia is calling about a life or death matter and you're ignoring her? Life or death matter? I had no choice but to hang up on Angela and contact Olivia. Guess what? Olivia said she's pregnant, insists on keeping the baby, and want me to meet her parents with her next week. Last time I thought I wasn't ovulating yet, so we didn't take precautions. Then my period was late and there was pink discharge. When I went to the hospital for a checkup, sure enough, I was pregnant. Felix, I must keep this baby. You're coming home with me to explain everything to my parents. Get rid of it. I kept my response brief. Olivia's rapid breathing came through the phone receiver. She was furious. Felix, do you even have a heart? I'm wealthy and beautiful, and I give you 30,000 every month. Haven't I been good to you? All I want is to have our child, and this is how you treat me. Choking back tears, she compromised. Fine, I won't demand marriage. Just help me appease my family first. Once the baby is born, I'll set you free. 07, I agreed. After all, I had once loved Olivia deeply. At first, she struck me as an unattainably elegant and aloof older sister, but after spending time together, I discovered her tender, water-like soft side. While driving, she'd steer with one hand while interlacing her fingers with mine with the other. After getting out of the car, the scent of her hand cream still lingered on my fingers. Though outwardly cool, she'd steal glances at me during meals, leaning in to whisper, "Darling, you've got impressive dimensions." Cold and cruel. My heart raced from her teasing, and I could only let out a dumbfounded ah, making her giggle uncontrollably. At first, she looked at me with love in her eyes, but later, she disregarded my feelings completely, openly dating multiple people right in front of me. I'll give you $30,000 a month to be my nominal boyfriend and help me deal with my parents' pressure to marry. Darling, I won't treat you badly, but someone as exceptional as me can't have just one man. You'll have to understand. During that time, I relied on alcohol to numb myself, until her cousin returned to the country. Only then did I learn the truth from others. Turns out, Olivia had an unrequited love during her school days, a white moonlight named Benjamin. Back then, Olivia was still a good girl, while Benjamin was the charming bad boy with a heart of gold, and the two were madly in love. But Olivia's family looked down on Benjamin. Benjamin grew up in a single-parent household. Not only was the family dirt poor, but his father was also a worthless drunk. So Olivia's family locked her in her room, forcing her to break up with him. Olivia pretended to compromise, but secretly spent money to send Benjamin abroad to gild his reputation, providing him with a generous monthly allowance. The only reason she chose me as her boyfriend was because I bore some resemblance to Benjamin. She deliberately got close to me. The moment I learned the truth, all my obsessions and love completely vanished. 08. The family banquet was held at Olivia's ancestral home. Her ancestral home was a 5-story villa where her grandparents lived. I wore a Dior suit, while Olivia, dressed in a mermaid tail evening gown with her pregnancy not yet showing, held my arm. She said quietly, "My parents and relatives will surely criticize me for getting pregnant too early. Don't be nervous. I've already coordinated with my little niece. She's emotionally intelligent and well-liked by the elders. She'll speak up for you. Just follow her lead and play along." As we reached the entrance, 2 servants gestured for us to enter. I was just about to ask for her niece's name when I saw a familiar, graceful figure running toward us cheerfully. The moment our eyes met, we both froze in surprise. "Angela, how could it be you?" I hastily shook off Olivia's hand. Angela was wearing a fitted halter dress, her slightly curled, long hair cascading down to her waist, looking both playful and sexy. When she saw me, her pupils instantly lost focus. You too? Damn it. I told Angela yesterday that I'd be having dinner with friends today. I didn't want her to find out about my ex-girlfriend's pregnancy. I was afraid she'd look down on me. I didn't want to lose her, but who would have thought she's Olivia's niece? Olivia noticed our strange behavior and firmly grabbed my arm, asking, "What, do you know my niece?" Before I could speak, Angela answered first. "No." Her gaze fell on Olivia's hand holding mine, the corners of her eyes slightly red. Only then did Olivia's expression soften. "He's called Felix. Call him Uncle Felix." "Hello, Uncle Felix," Angela called out stiffly. 09. The marble dining table was crowded with Olivia's aunts and uncles, all dressed to the nines, clearly wealthy and influential. Olivia sat to my left, Angela to my right front. I desperately sent her messages explaining and apologizing, holding nothing back as I told her everything about Olivia and me. But she didn't even lift her head, just kept eating her meal in silence. Soon, Olivia's father was the first to strike. "I allowed you two to date because his family background was clean, but no matter how clean, it's still beneath our Adams family. I don't agree to let this child be born." Olivia remained unhurried. "You reject those with questionable family backgrounds, yet you also refuse those with clean lineages. Dad, everyone in our circle knows I'm pregnant now, and the doctor said if I abort this time, I might never conceive again. I must keep this child." In the past, if Olivia had insisted on keeping my child, I would have been deeply moved. But now, I looked up at Angela, noticing her chewing movements were slowing down. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through the top of my foot. Olivia was grinding her high heel into my foot, twisting it back and forth. She was reminding me, demanding that I take a stand. I know Olivia is too proud to cling to me after having the child. Besides, she doesn't love me at all. She just wants to keep the child and ditch the father. But Angela wouldn't think that way. She would only think I want to have my cake and eat it too. What a scumbag I am. I was just about to break things off with Olivia and have her abort the baby. But then I saw Angela gently shake her head at me. 10. In Olivia's room, Angela and I were alone together while Olivia was downstairs entertaining guests. Angela hugged me tightly the moment she walked in. I felt her softness, gently stroked her back, and kissed her between the strands of her hair. 1,000 words condensed into just a few. "I like you. The child was my mistake, but Olivia and I don't love each other anymore. She only wants to keep the child and remove the father." I wanted to say more, but Angela placed her index finger on my lips. She choked back a sob. "Don't say any more. I know, I understand everything. If you didn't have me in your heart, why would you tell me kind lies? Even if you really married my aunt, I would still love you, because feelings can't be controlled. I love you, what else can I do?" She cried in my arms, her tears soaking into my collar. Meeting Angela in this lifetime, I can die without regrets. "Benjamin, come here quickly." Suddenly, Olivia's voice came from outside the door. She just called out, "Benjamin?" She actually brought Benjamin home. Angela and I had no choice but to hide in the wardrobe. 11. The moment the wardrobe door closed, the sound of high heels and leather shoes followed right after. Olivia and Benjamin were locked in a passionate embrace as soon as they entered the door, tumbling onto the bed together. Lost in the heat of their kisses, Benjamin's hand began to wander downward. Olivia suddenly grabbed his wrist and cooed playfully. "Not allowed, I'm carrying our baby, you know." The The coquettishness in her voice was never meant for me. I used to think she was an aloof, domineering older sister type. Only after seeing her with Angela did I realize that when a girl truly loves someone, even just an embrace can make her melt into a puddle in their arms. Olivia could be quite charming too, just not with me. Benjamin leaned close to her ear, panting seductively as he teased with a wicked smile. Of course I know. I would never hurt you or the baby. When our baby is born, we'll put him in the crib beside us, so he can see how much I cherish you. Then he and I can both drink your milk together. How about that? I shuddered violently. It felt like a bolt from the blue. I was wondering, Olivia and I have always been very careful with precautions. How come she got pregnant just shortly after Benjamin came back? How stupid of me to have believed her lies so easily. I was so furious. I wanted to rush out and tear that wretched couple apart, but Angela silently held my hand in the darkness, pulling me back to reason. Rushing out now wouldn't matter to me, but what about Angela's reputation? While Olivia and Benjamin continued their vulgar exchange, Angela leaned close to my ear and whispered softly, "Brother, and don't be angry anymore. Would you like some candy?" As she spoke, her crimson lips parted slightly, revealing a pink candy tucked behind her pearly teeth. When had she put it there? Without thinking, I moved closer. The cramped space was filled with the girl's body scent and the sweetness of strawberry milk candy. Angela and I were locked in such an inseparable kiss that we didn't even notice Olivia and Benjamin had stopped moving. Just as Angela collapsed into my arms, a blinding light came rushing toward us. Olivia opened the wardrobe and stared at us in shock. "What are you doing?" Facing this moment, I felt an unusual calmness in my heart. I didn't understand. Olivia clearly didn't love me. So why was she wearing this expression of hurt and anger? I wrapped my arm around Angela's shoulder. "We're doing the same thing you are. Angela and I are in a normal romantic relationship." "Felix, you shameless bastard. You're the shameless one," I roared back. "I already know the child in your belly isn't mine, Olivia. From now on, I want nothing to do with a slut like you." Olivia's eyes instantly reddened. "You dare call me that? How could you say such things?" She turned and violently hurled whatever was within reach at the floor. Vases, the television, lamps, decorative ornaments. At last, he pointed at me with great agitation. "Felix, get the hell out of here right now. I'm curious to see if you can resist reaching out to me this time." She pointed at Angela again. "You're shameless too, even seducing your own uncle." The commotion attracted Olivia's parents and relatives. The moment they saw Benjamin, they understood everything. I seized the moment to reveal the truth that the child was Benjamin's. Olivia's father was so furious that he slapped her. "You disgraceful girl. You'll be the death of me." I had no time to watch the commotion behind us, so I took Angela and left. Once, Olivia would often get angry with me over trivial matters. For example, when I had a cold and couldn't accompany her shopping, when my phone was on silent at 2 a.m. and I missed her call, or when a meal I cooked for her didn't taste good. "I pay you $30,000 a month precisely, so you can provide emotional value to me. Come back to me when you've sorted these matters out properly." But this time I won't lower my head to coax her again, because she no longer occupies a place in my heart. I love Angela, 13. Olivia always brings up the matter of giving me $30,000 a month. But every month, I would buy her cosmetics and clothes from brands like Dior, YSL, and Chanel, spending almost all of my 30,000 yuan without a penny left. The remaining money, I also used to support Angela. So, I stapled together the receipts from my purchases and took them to Olivia's house. The topmost receipt had 4 words written on it. "We're even." That's right. Since Angela is Olivia's niece, that means her family background shouldn't be bad. I got fooled by a woman again. Angela clutched the hem of her clothes and stammered. "I was just afraid I might seem too perfect and you wouldn't dare approach me. I know it was you who anonymously sponsored me. I've saved all that money, waiting to use it when you marry me." I smiled and gently tapped the tip of her nose. "Little narcissist." Angela stuck out her tongue. 14. After driving Felix away, Olivia had another big argument with her parents. "I just can't stand you controlling my life. I'm your only daughter. Can't I even decide my own happiness? You always say Benjamin is no good, that he's only after my money. He was just a teenager back then. How could he be so money-grubbing? I think it's you who are obsessed with profit. Let's not even talk about Benjamin. What about Felix? His family background is clean, and he treats people with courtesy. He doesn't want my money, yet you still look down on him, don't you?" The words slipped out before Olivia realized it. So even deep down, she had believed that Felix truly loved her with all his heart. Just moments ago, she watched Felix walk out holding Angela's hand, staring so intently, desperately wishing his retreating figure would pause for just 1 second, even a single second. But Felix walked away so resolutely. Olivia's heart ached in waves, especially when she later saw the invoice Felix had sent over. The amount was roughly equivalent to the monthly allowance she had been giving him. The words "no debts between us" hung in the air. Olivia's hands trembled as she held the invoice. Her parents came daily, pressuring her to abort the child and sever all ties with Benjamin. At this moment, she couldn't care less about the child or Benjamin. Her mind was completely consumed by whether Felix had truly abandoned her. Soon, her pride steeled her resolve. She would cut ties with her family and move out with Benjamin. She wanted Felix to know she could live just fine without him. Benjamin was holding her hand at that moment. Don't worry, though I don't have much money, I'll never let you and our child suffer. I can support you for a lifetime. I'll treat you well. Moved to tears, Olivia nodded. The 2 slap marks on her face became the price she paid for running away from home. 15. At the beginning, she stayed with Benjamin in a rented apartment, inseparable day and night, as sweet as honey. But soon, her delicate face, deprived of the salon and nutritionist, began to turn sallow and break out in acne. Benjamin, we can't keep eating takeout. Could you cook for me? Benjamin, deeply engrossed in his game, responded half-heartedly. I can't cook. Have you ever seen a real man who knows how to cook? Cooking is women's work. At home, my mother always cooks for me. Why don't you learn to cook while you're still not too far along in your pregnancy? Olivia felt a surge of inexplicable anger. It was quickly drowned out by an overwhelming wave of bitterness. She remembered that if Felix were by her side, he would surely cook for her. He took such good care of her. Felix couldn't cook at first either, but to make her breakfast with love, his hands were blistered for days. Back then, she said she didn't want this kind of cheap sentiment. Tell Felix not to waste his effort. Olivia stayed in the rental for a month. She visibly grew haggard and bloated. Unable to hold back, she demanded, the money I gave you should be enough to buy an apartment in the capital, right? This rental is tiny and shabby. I can't stand living here. Benjamin's brows were deeply furrowed with impatience. Darling, you know my family situation is difficult. Every penny you gave me went to support my father. What about me? If all the money goes to your father, what will happen to me and our child in the future? Didn't you promise you'd take care of me for life? Benjamin looked at her in shock and disbelief. Of course you should ask your parents for money. Your parents are so wealthy. Are you really going to cut ties with them? Olivia's heart trembled violently. She finally came to her senses. Benjamin had been acting alongside her, pretending to love her so deeply. It was all just for her family fortune. Felix was the man who truly loved her. Yet she ended up losing Felix. Olivia mustered all her strength and slapped Benjamin with a resounding smack. Damn mutt, go die. 16. Olivia was someone who knew when to bend and when to stand firm. The next day, she packed her things and returned to Adam's place, kneeling outside the front gate to apologize. The abortion procedure was scheduled for the afternoon. When her belly emptied, lying on the bed, she wept silently under the ceiling light, thinking of Felix again. She found Felix's Blue account and transferred $3 million into it. Thinking of you. How have you been lately? After sending the message, she placed the phone against her chest. Her heart pounded wildly. Unfortunately, when she unlocked the phone, Felix hadn't replied. 17. Alipay payment received, 3 million yuan. The cold, mechanical female voice sounded. I was cuddling with Angela while watching a movie in a private theater. She reacted faster than I did, propping herself up. That must be my aunt. I checked my phone. Indeed, I should return it. I have nothing to do with her now. Angela held my hand. No, keep it. Huh? Isn't this inappropriate? Angela flashed a sly smile, like a little fox. She nestled back into my arms, adjusted her clothes just right to reveal a tantalizing glimpse of her shoulder, then snapped a winking selfie. Posted a moment on social media. Movies are so much better when watched cuddled up with your boyfriend. I bet Olivia will see this post within half an hour. Just as expected, Angela appears sweet on the surface, but is actually quite mischievous. She doesn't even spare her own aunt. Seeing my speechless expression, Angela burst into a long string of laughter before collapsing into my arms, rubbing her nose against my chin and Adam's apple. In a coquettish voice, she said, "Oops, I accidentally let Big Brother see my true colors. So, do you still like me, Big Brother?" She deliberately drew out the last syllable, her voice dripping with ambiguity, scratching at my heart like a kitten's playful paw. "I like you, of course I do." She smiled happily again. "MHM, I like you too. Don't worry about that crazy aunt of yours. Just focus on preparing for your job. If you can't find the job you want, this girl will take care of you. And one more thing, before the graduation party, I want you to come with me to buy an evening gown." Okay, I kissed her silky hair, secretly vowing to become a better man, to give her a better life, so her parents would feel at ease in trusting her to me. She deserves it. The graduation party was held in 2 venues, the school auditorium and the playground. Interested students were required to sign up in advance. Angela naturally attended as my date. She had to buy an evening gown beforehand and hire a makeup artist for styling on the day itself. When I went to pick her up, she pouted her little face. "Brother, although I'm already beautiful enough, with gorgeous me holding your arm, you don't need to do anything for people to know you're outstanding, because you have such an outstanding girlfriend. But dressing like this is way too casual." I glanced at my outfit, a white shirt paired with black casual pants, with carefully styled hair. Too casual? Angela dragged me to the China World Mall, heading straight for Brioni, Italian menswear brand. They do custom suits here. My dad comes often. What if custom tailoring won't be ready in time? Pay extra, and we can make it in time. Such deep pockets. After selecting the style, collar, buttons, and other details, the clerk was measuring my waist. An untimely female voice chimed in. "Felix, what are you doing here?" I turned my head to see Olivia looking somewhat haggard and Benjamin with resentment written all over his face. That bitch Olivia. After harassing her ex with messages, She even brought her current boyfriend along to go shopping for clothes. How dare you try to play both sides? Perhaps noticing my look of disgust, Olivia looked quite hurt. She specifically explained, Benjamin and I have nothing to do with each other now. At most, he's just a hired hand I've employed. Huh, what does that mean? Angel pulled me aside. Have you noticed anything different about Benjamin? I hadn't thought so before, but now that you mention it, Benjamin does seem like a different person, though I can't quite put my finger on what's changed. Angela rolled her eyes subtly. Figures you straight guys wouldn't notice. Benjamin got double eyelid surgery, now parts his hair 3/7 style, and basically dresses in white shirts with black pants. He's even started loving to cook. In that lightning flash of a moment, something occurred to me. He's copying me. Exactly, he's copying you, because Annie is absolutely crazy about you now. Benjamin could only imitate your appearance to please her. After returning to Adam's home, Olivia grew increasingly regretful for mistaking a fisheye for a pearl. She immediately contacted her best legal team, demanding the recovery of all the money she had transferred to Benjamin over the years. The total amounted to over $30 million. Benjamin, who had been living extravagantly, had no means to repay such a sum. Left with no choice, he could only pretend to be me, allowing Olivia to use him as a substitute. Angela pulled me along with a smile as we walked over. What a coincidence, Andy. Why are you explaining all this to Felix? Did you forget? He's my boyfriend now. I'm about to accompany him to the graduation ball. Why don't you help us pick out some outfits? 19. Olivia's gaze had been fixed on me all along, deep and heavy, with inexplicable tears glistening in her eyes. Hearing Angela speak, I reluctantly tore my gaze away. His eyes turned cold. No need. Since when did he become your boyfriend? Has he ever cooked different dishes for you? Every day? Has he ever sung you to sleep? Has he ever driven 50 kilometers just to buy you hazelnut cake? There's so much more he's done for me, without expecting anything in return. Hiss! Angela's grip on my arm noticeably tightened, even giving me a secret pinch. What kind of hellish situation is this? I knew if I didn't explain things properly today, I'll have my hands full tonight trying to coax her. Exhausted from all the coaxing, I pulled my arm free and wrapped it tightly around Angela, staring straight at Olivia. Let's not bring up the past anymore. I treated you well because you're my girlfriend. I'd treat any girlfriend of mine that way. You don't need to keep bringing it up as if I had some deep, undying love for you. The person I love now is Angela. Meeting her made me understand what love truly feels like. If you keep saying things that hurt her feelings and drive a wedge between us, I won't be polite with you. Olivia walked forward with a bitter smile, grabbing my arm as tears streamed uncontrollably down her face. Won't be polite. What exactly are you going to do to me? Hit me? Yell at me? All for her sake. You say I broke her heart, but aren't you breaking mine right now? Felix, my heart aches so much. Every day without you is agony. I miss you terribly. Can't you just forgive me this once? How many fucking times have I forgiven you already? I forgave you when you went out fooling around at bars. I forgave you when you inexplicably lashed out at me and gave me the cold shoulder. But I can't be bothered to waste my breath anymore, just to avoid unnecessary arguments. I uttered only 3 icy words. You are not worthy. Olivia seemed about to lose her balance, staggering as if she would collapse, but Benjamin behind her caught her. Felix, I can't let you go. I just can't. If you can't let go, then go die. 20. At 1:30 in the morning, I tossed and turned, unable to sleep because of Olivia. Angela and I walked hand in hand on the playground, drawing frequent glances from many classmates. Angela was simply too beautiful. A pure white evening gown, with a string of pearls adorning her swan-like neck. Her hair was elegantly pinned up, with a few stray strands cascading down, her smile radiant as blossoms. She was as beautiful as a pristine gardenia. We danced, we conversed freely, we played the piano, and sang. Near the end, colored rose petals suddenly began raining down from the crowd. The delicate petals fluttered down, carrying a pure, sweet fragrance. I stood at the center of the crowd. Facing Angela, I knelt down and opened the ring box for her. This isn't a marriage proposal. It's my confession ceremony. Angela, will you be my girlfriend? A grand confession is the trumpet announcing victory, not the bugle call to charge into battle. I prepared this way because Angela likes me, and she's dressed up carefully today. Today, she will be the leading lady in everyone's eyes. I do. Holy shit, this guy's got it too good. First Olivia, now Angela. How come all the beauties end up with him? Teacher, teach me how to pick up girls later. Angela covered her lips with a smile, under her gentle gaze and the cheers of classmates. I solemnly slid the ring onto her middle finger. At that moment, I thought to myself, my beloved girl would eventually wear my wedding ring on her ring finger too. A figure slipped away unnoticed from the crowd. I remained completely oblivious.